Hello everyone. Hello. And welcome back to the great Chronicles. We finally decided to defend Mr. Natsume. So I guess that's what we're gonna do tonight. I'm a bit tired, so I might have trouble speaking, but I think it's gonna be alright. I hope. 20th of February, 9:23 a.m. The Old Bailey, defendant's antechamber. Wait, is that the Supreme Court again? I don't know why. It's a bit weird. Oh well, I never expected this. Would have thought we'd be back here again so soon. We are on a study tour of Great Britain with the intention of learning the country's legal practices. In order to research the latest court procedure here, we need as much court experience as possible. Well, yeah, I suppose that's true, but for the person in the dark, it may well be his or her one and only time in court, and it could be life-changing. In which case, treating it as research may seem a little crass. Oh, when you put it like that, you're quite right. Oh, good morning. Wait, who's that? Oh. Ah, Mr. Natsume. Good morning. He's got pink eyes. Wait, does he? Oh dear, are you alright? Your eyes are terribly bloodshot. Oh, they are. The early bird catches the worms, as they say here in Britain. Oh yes, I've heard that expression before. But I really don't want to catch a worm. So I tried desperately not to wake up Harry, but I was so worried I couldn't catch a wink. And now I'm absolutely exhausted as a result. Do all literary people take things so literally? Oh, thank you for putting your faith in us today, Mr. Natsume. Oh. I wish I had 9 lives. My whole future hangs in the balance. I'm too terrified to tremble. Well, he's trembling. Really? Because I can feel tremors in the floor. I can't do this. I can't take it. Although, welcome student, Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. Yeah? I caught a glimpse of the public gallery as I walked by the courtroom. It looked like the opening night of the opera. There were so many people. I had no idea my case was such a notorious affair here in London. Yeah, that's weird. Oh, neither did I. Do you know why that might be, Susato-san? Oh, sorry, Naruhodo-san, but I have no idea. So that all-knowing look on your face is just coincidence then, is it? Oh, don't hide the truth from me! It's because of the Reaper, isn't it? Oh yeah, maybe. Because, man, it's just a stabbing, the woman isn't even dead. So, there's no reason for such publicity, I don't know. Lord Van Zieks? Is that right, Sato-san? Oh, I purchased as many different newspapers as I could find this morning. And yes, Lord Van Zieks is on the front page of everyone. Oh really? God damn it. I knew it! I didn't knew it. Sometime after the prosecutor was dubbed the Reaper of the Bailey. He stopped appearing in court, it seems. It's been several years now. In fact, until the day before yesterday. Well, that sounds like, really. Yes, Inspector Gregson told us something similar, didn't he? The trial 2 days ago. 2 days ago marked Lord Van Ziek's return to the courtroom after a very long hiatus. Hiatus? Hiatus? Oh. Hiatus? The trial of Magnus McGilded. Ah, what a harrowing experience that was. Wait a second, I need to check. How do you pronounce hiatus? I need to know. Hiatus. Hiatus. Okay. Oh, wait, no, maybe not. I don't know. Hiatus. Okay. The trial of Magnus McGilded. Ah, what a harrowing experience that was. Ah, I believe that appearance made even greater waves when in waves here in the capital than today's. Oh, I believe that appearance made even greater waves here in the capital than today's. But we wouldn't have realized, of course, having only just arrived in the country. Oh, why is the Reaper back in the Bailey so soon, for what appears to be a mundane murder? That's the question the papers are asking, and they are all speculating various answers. Mundane! Mundane! Is the most significant saga of the century to some of us. Oh dear, I meant no offense, Mr. Natsume. Natsume-san. But that is how the papers are describing it. Oh, well, lest we also forget the fact that it could spark an international incident. Obviously, the reappearance of this infamous prosecutor has caught people's attention. But there's another blatant similarity with the trial of 2 days ago. Really? Oh yes, I agree. Really? Welcome, student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. It's you! Oh yeah, it's me, okay. Me? Oh well, I suppose that's true. Both times, it is you who stands against this legendary persecutor. It can only mean that you're friends with the Reaper. What? No. Please, I don't rub shoulders with Deathbringers. Oh, I'm afraid that there's really only one other explanation. It can only be another example, Naruto-san, of your uncommon bad luck. Okay. Thanks for that. Oh, this is just my luck. Why must I be represented by a man with such fair fortune? By the least lucky lawyer alive. Well, let's not forget that it was you, Mr. Natsume, who asked me to represent you. Yes, it's true that I'm just a student, but new to London, with little in the way of experience or skill, or luck. But I promise you this. I will fight your corner until the bitter end, and I will believe in you, Mr. Natsume. Oh, benevolent locum student, Mr. Naruto Esquire. Oh, you're not alone here with us, Mr. Natsume. Natsume-san. Whatever happens, we will always be on your side. Oh, benevolent non-locum assistant Miss Mikotoba Esquires. I am in your debt forever. I shall never forget this great guy. Mr. Natsume, Counsel of the Defense. The court session is about to begin. Kindly make your way into the courtroom at once. Okay. Alright then, Natsume-san. It's time. Let's go. Oh, yeah. Yes! Alright then. This is it. My second appearance in a British courtroom. And my second trial against the Reaper. I hope you're watching over me, Kazuma. Because this time, I won't let my faith waver. I believe in my client to the last. Well, it's easier to believe in this one than the other one, though. To be fair. Just like you believed in me. I believe I can do this now. I'm ready for this fight. '20th of February. 10 a.m. The Old Bailey courtroom. Wait, why is it all black? Hey, how is... In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. I now call upon the counsels of for the prosecution and defense to declare their willingness to proceed. The prosecution is fully prepared, my lord. The defense is ready, my lord. The Nipponese are truly fascinating, a truly fascinating breed. Sorry, what? Lord Strongheart has told me all about you. That you are a student who arrived in London but 2 days ago, a mere amateur. Do you have a point? Being a compatriot, you feel compelled to try to help the accused, I suppose, typical Nipponese arrogance. Oh, forgive me, but I do not believe arrogance is an appropriate description. Sato-san? After all, at our previous encounter, the defendant was found to be innocent. Very true. And a most fascinating, if dark, trial it was, too. The tragic conclusion came later, of course. Here's to the acquitted, and his unfortunate, violent end. What? How is the wife of this... Hey, wait. Is that... One of the jurors is the witness from the previous time. What's that? How can that be? And the wife of Garidev. Mr. Garidev. That's weird. Mrs. Garidev. Thank you, counsels. I see both sides are in fine fettle. Now, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, are you ready to carry out your duties here at court as impartial members of the public? You never know when you might be down on your luck, but I believe I have in fair play for everyone. Oh, well, I must warn you, I'm rather morose as I appear. She doesn't look ruthless at all. So that's gonna be easy. Oh well, not me. What you see is what you get. I'm a peace-loving fellow. Oh, I'm afraid to say, I think it's quite possible that mustached foreigner did the deed. How is she here? Come on, what are we waiting for? No doubt he did it anyway. Sorry, I didn't quite catch that. Very well, let us proceed. Your opening statement, if you please, Lord Van Zeeks. Very recently, Great Britain signed an alliance with a rising power in the Far East. The accused in the dock today is a student from that same land, a certain Mr. Soseki Natsume. And while our country has extended this foreign student the warmest of welcomes, regrettably the kindness has not been returned. In fact, the student is accused of a most sinister act. Of plunging a knife into the back of an innocent woman who was doing nothing but walking down the street. A knife crime? I tell you from bitter experience, those are the worst. Bloody oath they are. Oh, just look at that sallow complexion. Complexion and short stature. He's one of those dreadful Japanese. What's with all those people? Come on now. Come on, let's get this over with. With me now, everyone. 1, 2, 3. Sorry, I didn't quite catch that. Pray, forgive the discourtesy of smashing my hallowed colours here, in this great chamber. Allow me to call the first witness to the stand. Very well. Bailiff, lead the inspector in, please. Wait, he's the one? He's the one who sold everything? Your name and occupation, please. Oh, yes, sir. Tobias Gregson, Detective Inspector at Scotland Yard. Would you please summarize the events of the case for the court, Inspector? The victim is thought to be a young woman in her 20s by the name of Olive Green. I beg your pardon, Inspector? Thought to be? Yes, having been stabbed in the back by her attacker's knife, the victim fell unconscious. That was 3 days ago now, and she's been comatose ever since. What? So they don't even know who she is for sure? Comatose, I see, but her life is not in danger. Fortunately for the Eastern student, the charge will not be murder. Pray, elaborate on the details, Inspector. Sir, if I could ask everyone to look at this street map. Okay. As I mentioned, the incident took place 3 days ago at around 5 in the afternoon. It happened on the pavement running alongside Briar Road, a wide thoroughfare for horse-drawn vehicles. Wait, what's that? Oh, it's the woman with the hat. Does she look so sad? It had not long since stopped snowing at the victim. It had not long since stopped snowing. as the victim, Miss Green, was walking down the street. Out of the blue, she was approached from behind by the accused and stabbed in the back. Luckily, the young lady's life was spared, and she's currently being treated in one of the city's hospitals. But being conscious as she is, we've been unable to take a statement from her, of course. This is a case file with everything we know about the victim so far. Thank you, Inspector. The court will accept the documents as evidence, if you please. Oh, the case file has been entered into the court record. A file containing an overview of the case and details about the victim. She was found with a knife in her back and is currently in the hospital, yet to regain consciousness. Okay, 3 days? Wow. What of the weapon that was used? Sir, I have that here. It was removed from the victim's back. Oh, pretty glad they did that. Ouch, that big thing is starting to make me scared to walk down the street now. Oh, it doesn't look that big. With a heavy blade like that, almost anybody would have been able to stab the poor woman. Wait, why are you saying it's big? It's so small. Even this cracked looking Soseki-san, I suppose. A common or garden jackknife, I would say. Rather nondescript. Thank you, Inspector. The court accepts the blade as evidence. The jackknife has been entered into the court record. Okay, we have to look at that. Now then, what do we know of the motive? Money or valuables, I presume? Oh, we have to look at the court records. A file containing overview of the case. A young woman rendered unconscious following a stab wound to the back. Victim, olive green, female, stout built, early 20s. Location, pavement of Briar Road. Reporting officer, Rolly Beat. The victim remains unconscious. Her name was gleaned from her personal effects. Other details are unknown. Apart from the single stab wound from the large knife, no other sign of injury were observed. The assailant was seen running away by the reporting officer and was successfully arrested the following day. Okay, so why isn't this guy testifying right now? It's weird. Okay, so what do we have here? It's a very small knife. What are they all saying? That's all. That's all we can do. There's nothing. There's nothing on here. Okay. Nothing interesting. Okay. A large but commonplace folding knife. It was found lodged in the victim's back. Okay. Now then, what do we know of the motive? Money or valuables, I presume? From what we can tell by looking at the woman's possessions, it seemed like she was a poor student herself. Hard to imagine she would have had anything much worth pinching, my lord. I see. Well, in that case, are we looking at some deep-seated resentment toward the victim? I'm afraid I couldn't say. Apart from visiting second-hand bookshops, the defendant, Mr. Natsume, doesn't appear to get out much. At this moment in time, we haven't been able to establish any sort of connection between him and the victim. Yes. What? What? If theft and grievance had been ruled out as the motive, what reason could Mr. Natsume possibly have had for stabbing the young woman? Yet you arrested the man in spite of that, in a totally unjustified and heavy-handed way.
Objection!
Pray, forgive the discourtesy of flinging a fresh in-court battle into the public gallery. But your words have soured it, allowed bouquet. For it is you, my learned friend, who is being heavy-handed here. What? Scotland Yard does not arrest people without good cause. That should be beyond question. Inspector Gregson, the prosecution calls for your formal testimony. Explain to the court precisely why the constabulary came to arrest a Nipponese student. Yes, sir. All right, all right. Mr. Natsume's arrest. As I said, it was 5 o'clock in the afternoon when the incident occurred, and there was an unusually light fog. Wait, was it unusually light? Because it was very light. Where it's usually heavier? I don't know. Visibility was reasonably good, and there was no one else about but the victim and the accused. Out of the blue, the victim was stabbed from behind and subsequently collapsed on the pavement. The accused ran off, scattering his belongings all over the floor. Those being a number of old books he just bought. He was on his way home from a bookshop, it seems. It was just a matter of working out who the books belonged to, and we found the bloke to arrest him. Old books, you say? Oh, yes, my lord. I have a photograph here of the scene of the crime, taken immediately after the incident. Oh, that poor woman. Oh, yes. I can clearly see the books to which you are referring. I will take that photographic print as evidence, please, Inspector. The crime scene photograph has been entered into the court record. Okay, we're gonna have to examine that. You Nipponese are a spineless breed, too cowardly to admit defeat. Why is he like that? Well, they're all like that, though. That knife, there's no blood. I guess it's because it's supposed to be kids friendly. Okay, there's nothing in this picture. Denying everything despite overwhelming evidence to the contrary. Well, forgive me, Lord Van Zieks, but the defendant is not denying everything, as you put it. What are you doing, Sato-san? Do go on. Oh, Mr. Natsume has admitted to playing some part in the incident. Isn't that right, Mr. Naruhodo? Well, now that you mention it, when we visited him in the prison yesterday, he did tell us what had all happened. It's a weird phrase. Oh, as I was walking along that pavement, I could make out the sole silhouette of another ahead of me. A woman, wearing a green overcoat she was. And just as I went to overtake her... She suddenly let out a little scream and collapsed into the cold, hard slab of stones at my feet. I was terrified. I had to get away from there. So I ran as fast as my leg would carry me back to my accursed lodgings. A green overcoat? Oh well, that's exactly what the woman in that print is wearing. Oh my, a photographic print in full color. What will the world come up with next? The defendant has done nothing more than admit he fled the scene of a terrifying incident. That does not mean that he's guilty of the heinous crime of stabbing the woman in the back. There was nobody else there at the time, just the two of them, the victim and the accused. In other words, there is nobody else who could possibly have stabbed the woman. A fact that the accused concedes. It seems this cross-examination could prove to be pivotal, counsel. Proceed, please. Yes, my lord. Nothing for it. Nothing for it? What? What does that mean? I have to use this cross-examination to turn the tables here. It's our only chance. Alright. Mr. Natsume's arrest. As I said, it was 5 o'clock in the afternoon when the incident occurred, and there was an unusually light fog. Okay. A light fog, you say? Well, light for London. You could see the opposite side of the street for once. Not much farther, though. That's light, is it? Around these parts, yes. Not something I'd expect a Japanese fellow like yourself to know, of course. I've read that London is famous for its fog. But in my country, people usually imagine that gives the city a rather beautiful appearance. How quaint. Yes, well, it's not something us Londoners tend to romanticize, as I expect you can appreciate. I see. At this time of year, the fog causes a large number of accidents, especially when it's heavy. Sometimes, you can't even see your own hand at the end of your arm. Indeed, the other day I was very nearly trampled by horses before I could see the carriage they were pulling. So I should definitely remember to stop, look and listen. However, on the day that concerned us, the fog was somewhat lighter than usual. A fact no doubt lamented by the accused. Visibility was reasonably good, and there was no one else about but the victim and the accused. How are you able to state that with any certainty? Quite simply, my learned friend, because that is what the witnesses to this crime have told us. Wait, if there were only two people, how can there be witnesses? That's kind of a... That's kind of self-contradictory. Ah, yes. Inspector Gregson mentioned the witnesses yesterday, didn't he? That's right. One of them is a policeman, I believe, from Scotland Yard. That is correct, ma'am. What? Then we must hear their testimony. The prosecution will, of course, call them to the stand, should it be necessary. Wait, what? It is necessary. But wait a minute. At 5 o'clock in the afternoon, in the middle of winter, it would have been dark already. No matter how light the fog might have been, no one could have seen. I'm unaware of the situation on your tiny island in the east. Hey, you're tiny. But here, in the capital city of Great Britain, all main roads are illuminated in the night by gas streetlights. Oh. The prosecution believes there would have been ample light by which to witness the crime.
Quite. Here in London, for the first time in history, mankind has completely conquered the darkness.
Yeah, well, that's good and bad. Which means we really need to hear those witness statements. If I could just get through the fog of this cross-examination, maybe we'll be able to... It seems the counsel for the defense is taking stock. Continue with your testimony, Inspector.
Out of the blue, the victim was stabbed from behind and subsequently collapsed on the pavement.
Hold it!
From behind, you say?
Oh, that's right. As you can see from this print. Yes, quite so, Inspector. The handle of the weapon is clearly protruding from the victim's back.
Wait a second. Is this the same knife? Well, it's the drawing. Oh well, yeah, it's the same.
Oh, and you say this poor woman, Miss Green, remains in a critical condition. Comatose, no less.
I'm afraid so, my lord.
Yes, she's been treated as Bart's.
At Bart's.
I was hopeful that she'd come round before the trial started so I could take a statement, but it wasn't to be. Oh, yes, that is indeed a pity. It would have been most illuminating to hear the victim's own account of events.
Luck is on your client's side, it seems. I wouldn't say that. Oh dear. On the contrary, my client has been exceedingly unlucky. Your force of tone is seriously undermined by those disturbingly wide eyes, I'm afraid. Well, I gotta say our resolve doesn't transpire.
The accused ran off, scattering his belongings all over the floor.
Hold it!
Mr. Natsume's belongings, eh?
I think you'll find all there. It's all there in the photographic print of the crime scene. Oh, yes, the 3 books on the floor.
That's right, my lord. Second-hand books, they were. Irreparably damaged after falling in the snow, of course. The accused could easily have carried all 3 books in one hand. Which means...
His other hand would have been free to wield a knife, for example. Oh, yeah, you could just, I don't know, have nothing.
Oh, he's very clever, isn't he?
What do you mean?
He's made it extremely hard for you to assert that Mr. Natsume's had his hands full with his books. He's managed to close the one avenue of escape we might have had before we even knew it was there.
You mean to say that the defendant was holding his belonging as he thrust the knife into the woman's back? That must be what happened, my lord, yes. Those being a number of old books he'd just bought, he was on his way home from a bookshop, it seems.
Hold it!
The defendant apparently visits a second-hand bookshop on a daily basis.
Yes, so I understand. A shop full of all English literature.
I commend the accused only on the lofty subject matter of his scholarly attention.
The bloke's room was stacked floor to ceiling with those musty old books.
Can you tell us more about the bookshop in question, please, Inspector?
Well, if I must, I have to ask you to look at the street map again, I'm afraid. The closest second-hand bookshop to the accused's lodging is this place here. Bourbon Books. A little place on the corner of Briar Road and Meerschaum Street. As it happens, the accused is currently living in lodgings on the other side of Briar Road, at the opposite end. Which means it doesn't take a genius to work out the road he would have taken home.
Okay.
Something like this.
The local map's information has been updated in the court record.
Oh, yes, I concur with your conclusion, Inspector. The defendant will certainly have passed the scene of the crime on his way home from that particular shop.
Oh, Naruhodo-san. I think that what the inspector just told us could turn out to be vital evidence. Wait. We have a receipt. Your books. That's not this place. Oh, that's not the right place. Yes, I agree. The most important point that the inspector just made being the bookshop's name. Inspector Gregson, may I ask you a favor?
What?
Would you kindly add the name of the bookshop to your formal testimony, please? I believe it may be of vital importance.
Maybe.
Oh well, yes, it could be a very important clue.
Very well, not that I can see it being of any great significance. But please revise your testimony accordingly, Inspector.
Yes, sir, my lord. Whatever you say. Could the man be any more sardonic?
He was on his way home from Bourbon Books, a second-hand bookshop here apparently patronizes.
Okay, let's present that then. The picture of Monsieur Lecoq, a meal for Garborio, Canterbury yearnings. Canterbury. Are those the books? Oh, there's no way to know. But we're gonna present that anyway.
Objection.
If I could just stop you there, Inspector Gregson. What is it, Sunshine? I'm a busy man, you know. Is he gonna angry eat his fish and chips again? This is a receipt that we found in Mr. Natsume's room. It was issued on the day of the incident and details the purchase of 3 second-hand books. And you found that in the accused room, did you? Yes, but the point is not where the receipt was found, but the name of the shop printed on it. Go on. This receipt was issued from a bookshop called Your Books.
Oh, your books? Your... Y-O-R-E, I presume.
Your? Is it Yori, maybe? Yori Books? I don't know. Yes, my lord. So, Mr. Natsume did indeed purchase a number of books at a second-hand bookshop that day. However, the bookshop in question was not Bourbon Books.
What? Inspector, do you know this other bookshop?
Yes, sir. Your Books is another second-hand bookshop not far from Bourbon Books. It's just that... Well, it's such a small place. I didn't think the accused would have known about it.
Objection.
But in fact, that is the bookshop which the defendant visited on the day in question. And this receipt proves it.
Objection.
Yes, for what difference it makes. Wherever the man purchased his musty tomes, it makes no difference in the final analysis.
Objection.
I disagree. I mean, after all, oh, I have a street map here. If that might be of help. Oh, yes, thank you. Have a look at this, please. If the defendant had been returning from Bourbon Books, then yes, he would almost certainly have passed the place where Miss Green was attacked. However, if we take into account the fact that he was actually at another bookshop, Your Books, it may very well turn out that he wouldn't have passed that location at all.
Could that be true?
Oh my. It rather depends on where this other bookshop is, but I do declare it may be a possibility. Oh, is that right, Mr. Lawyer, sir? What you just said? Absolutely. It absolutely could be right. I might be right. I'm sure of it.
Oh, Inspector Gregson, where is this your book establishment?
Well, obviously we looked into that. It turns out that Your Books is just here, on the next corner of Meerschaum Street going east. Okay, so it doesn't change much. The local mass information has been updated in the court record. Okay. And there you have it. As you can clearly see now, it doesn't change anything. Oh. My Nipponese friend is obviously in training to be a clown. The way he regales us with such witticisms. to your future career in the circus. Ah. You put that glass down now, or I'll put it down for you.
I didn't think I needed to spell it out, but here we go. If the accused was coming home from your books instead of bourbon books, well, it's the same path. There's no doubt he still would have passed the place where the victim was stabbed. Oh, yes. Thank you, Inspector. Allow me to reiterate, for my learned is somewhat slow, nipping his friend. Wherever the man purchased his musty tomes, it makes no difference in the final analysis. Ah! Oh, as I suspected, you can't fool me, and I don't suggest you try. What'd you say? I've had enough of this now. Oh, I beg your pardon. Oh, terribly sorry, but would you mind repeating that?
Oh, Naruto-san. We mustn't give up. What? What do you mean? Oh, if the prosecution's assertion is correct, the members of the jury may very well decide that Mr. Natsume is guilty. Oh, she's absolutely right. Oh, we must consider the assertion just put forward by the prosecution very, very carefully. The claim Suzuki-san must have passed the location of the incident on his way home from your books, but... Court record, let me see. Could have been on the other side of the road. I mean... Okay, let's object. The assertion just made by the prosecution is fundamentally flawed. Explain yourself, counsel. Yes, my lord. You can see what I mean on this map. When returning from your books to his lodgings, Mr. Natsume could have followed the route suggested by the prosecution. However, that isn't the only conceivable route to take between the two places. If the defendant used these streets, now look what happens. He arrives back at his lodgings without passing the location where the victim was attacked.
Objection!
Talking back to a clown is a fool's errand, of course. However, I feel compelled to point out that that route is what is commonly referred to as the long way round. On a cold winter's night, why would any man choose to take a longer route home? Well, the answer is extremely simple. He wouldn't. In other words, the accused took the obvious route back to his lodgings and is the obvious perpetrator of this crime.
Objection!
But, yes, I've got it. Obviously, we must ask the man himself. Ask Mr. Natsume which route he took home. I have already informed the court of the accused's response to such questioning. He claims he has no recollection. That's right, as I said. The bloke seems to spend his time outside, wandering aimlessly from A to B. That day was no exception. He said he doesn't remember where he was or which route he took home. Oh, I don't believe this. I thank you, my learned friend, and suggest that we do not waste any more of the course time by wandering aimlessly around this subject. Pray, what say you, insightful jurors? Oh, but even if that is the case, the defense still... Wait, what? Who said that? Wait, what?
I agree with Lord Van Zieks. Wholeheartedly, in every way.
Wait, what? I don't believe it. Does this mean?
We members of the jury are completely convinced now.
Wait, what?
Very well. In that case, I hereby call upon all members of the jury to present your findings to the court.
Guilty.
What? No!
Guilty.
No!
Guilty.
Guilty.
Wait, even him?
Oh, it would appear the jury's leaning is unanimous.
Oh no. To the insightful members of the jury, I applaud your brave resolve. You serve Queen and country admirably. Oh, なるほどさん. I'm just dead. No, not yet. This isn't over yet. I still have one last chance to sway the opinion of the jury. I have to tip the balance of the scales the other way. I have to turn this around. Somehow. Those are the eyes of Quain, not yet willing to give up and die. You're right. So I presume you intend to wield your rights again into this trial. Rights of the defense written into antiquated British law that should have been buried long ago. Call it antiquated if you will. Call it antiquated if you will. But it's the defense prerogative to carry out a summation examination if it so chooses.
Very well, counsel. In accordance with the letter of the law, we shall proceed with a summation examination. Are the members of the jury ready, Mr. Foreman?
Of course, we're ready. I'm old familiar with that Nipponese whippersnapper and his uncle's refusal to throw in his alley.
Very well then. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will each explain on what grounds you have determined the defendant to be guilty.
Oh dear. Judicial findings. The jurors' contentions.
For pity's sake, that little Nipponese oddity already admitted it himself, didn't he?
Oh, if he said that a woman in green collapsed before his eyes, why it can only have been the victim? The man would have gone around the houses on his way back from the bookshops. Not in winter. The man would have gone around the houses on his way back from the bookshop. Not in winter. Oh, so the poor woman was attacked from behind, was she? How dreadful.
I really don't care. Can we just wrap this up now? I've got work to be doing.
Oh, your books, yes. Nice job. That, but Bourbon books? Oh, no, not worth a visit.
We only mean our exceptions. The reason for finding the defendant guilty are all too clear. When the stabbing occurred, the only two people at the scene were the victim and the accused. And the accused himself has admitted to seeing the victim in her green overcoat sink to the ground before his eyes. Furthermore, we have heard from the inspector that the defendant had then fled the scene. I must say I would have ample grounds to convict this man already.
Oh dear. Even the judge appears convinced of Mr. Natsume's guilt now. Why did we have to run away? Why did he have to run away like that? And how are we supposed to believe in some phantom attacker if that nobody could see? This is impossible. How can I possibly make a case for the defense? Oh, Naruto-san, this is no time for crumbling. If we want to force the trial to continue... Yes, I know. I have to turn the tide. I must make the jurors change their minds. Well, 4 of them at least. Exactly. We have no choice but to forge forward.
You have the court, counsel. Begin your summation examination.
Yes, my lord. I just need to keep this trial going somehow. Whatever it takes. Come on, Yusuke. You can do it. Yusuke. Jury examination. For pity's sake, that Rimbanese already admitted himself, didn't he? Okay, no. If he said that a woman in green collapsed before his eyes, why, it can only have been the victim. The man wouldn't have gone around the houses on his way back from the bookshop, not in winter. So the poor woman was attacked from behind, was she? How dreadful. We don't care, can we just put this up now? But where are we going? Your books here, there is something. But Bourbon books, no, not worth a visit. I want to say... No, not that. Attacked from behind, how dreadful. And this. If he said that a woman in green collapsed before his eyes, why, it can only have been the victim. I think because if he saw her, she was in front of him. It's a bit far-fetched, but I think that's the only thing I can go for.
Objection.
Those two statements could clearly contradict each other.
Hold it.
I'm sorry, but as foreman of the jury, I have to object. That's complete nonsense.
What?
I'm a banker, don't forget. An educated man, and there's no contradiction as far as I can see. Quite so, Mr. Foreman. I will not permit a whimsical attack against the good members of the jury council.
Oh, there was nothing whimsical about it. Oh, it's very important to listen carefully to every juror, Mr. Naruhodo. Naruhodo-san. Then you can decide where the contradictions really lie, if there are any. Oh dear. Man would have gone around the house on his way back from the bookshop in winter. He's saying that Ebenezer had already admitted it himself, didn't he? Oh yeah, that's those two. Because he didn't admit himself. He said he saw her. Those two statements clearly contradict each other.
Hold it.
I'm sorry, but that's from... What? No. Wait, how is it so hard? Wait, is it the other one then? So the poor woman was attacked from behind, was she? How dreadful. Okay, not that. Don't care, can we just probably get now? Okay. Man would have gone around the house on his way back from the bookshop. Not in winter. Your books, yes, nice shop. That was bourbon books. Oh! Is that... I want to say because he went the extra mile to go to the other shop, even though it was winter. So maybe he didn't mind that much. I don't know. I don't see anything else.
Objection.
Those two statements clearly contradict each other.
Hold it.
No! No. Oh my god. Attack from behind, okay. Oh, I don't... Oh, I can press it? I can press.
Hold it.
Excuse me, but... Aren't you... Yes, that's right. I was in the witness stand myself just 2 days ago. Yes, I had a feeling on your face. Or the side of it, anyway. If I remember correctly, you're a banker, aren't you? Well, that's right. After the gold rush down under, I came back to London to work. And it was all going swimmingly until you started fossicking around. Bruce Fairplay was a man of repute. Sorry, what? Don't think I've forgotten how you treated me the other day. You had me and that young hatter pegged as criminals. Oh well, you know, water under the bridge. Now there's all sort of rumors buzzing around, and the police have been badgering me non-stop. Oh, if I could turn back the clock. Well, anyway, I don't know about the hatter, but at least I'm in the clear now. I'm free to make up my own mind about who's guilty and who isn't. Oh, thank goodness. Alright, maybe I might struggle to change this man's mind, given our awkward history. Oh dear, I wonder what's become of Mr. Foos now. First... Okay, she said a woman now. Okay. You're right that at the time of the incident, the defendant admits to having seen someone wearing a green overcoat walking ahead of him. Well, quite. That's precisely my point. Clearly, that someone wearing green was the victim. And clearly, that funny little Nipponese man with a disturbing moustache is the culprit. But let us not forget, madam, the defendant vehemently denies attacking the woman. Oh, why, of course he does. If he admits to stabbing her, his life is over. The man is obviously a liver-faced coward, honestly, claiming the woman simply collapsed before his eyes. But if that's a lie, as you're suggesting, do you not think he would have concocted something more credible? Oh, I really couldn't say. After all, you are foreign. Who's to say what goes through your funny little minds? Oh. You look nice, but you're really not nice. I could tell you what's going through my funny little mind right now, but you wouldn't like it. Oh, I do declare the man has already made the admission. He himself has stated that there was nobody else around. Surely the conclusion is obvious. No one else could possibly have committed this awful crime. If no one else could have done it, the accused must be the man. Really, it couldn't be more simple. Your argument is compelling. In its simplicity, I must admit. Oh my, you are too kind, my lord. That went well for her. The man would have gone around the house on his way back to the workshop. Okay. But you can't deny that there are other routes Mr. Natsume could have taken back from your books. Oh yes, like you drew on the map, you mean? What was it? Calabash Road or something? Precisely. But it seems to me that what counts is whether the little Japanese fellow actually went that way or not. Well, yes, that's true. And that at the moment, there's no proof that shows he did. Is there? Well, yeah, that's true as well. And as I understand it, the accused himself doesn't remember which way he went, does he? Well, yeah, that's annoyingly true, but there's no proof he didn't go the other way. Oh, winter nights are dark and cold, so the way I see it, you'd want to get home as quickly as possible. Oh, well, yeah. Why is this all true? So really, the only thing that makes sense is that he went home along by road. Ah, I'm supposed to be convincing you here. Oh, I have given it a lot of thought though, you know? I didn't just make up my mind on a whim that he did it. I mean, if there was some logical reason why he might have gone the Calabash Road way, it'd be different. I'd be happy to reconsider my position in this case. Honest, I would. Oh, a reason why Sasuke-san might have taken the wrong way home. Oh yes, a good reason. I don't imagine you'll be able to sway this young man's opinion without one. Okay, how is she here?
Hold it!
Whatever is the matter, young man? You're the wife of Mr. Gaideb, aren't you? The landlord who runs Mr. Natsume his room. The master's wife? Where did you get your ideas, sir? And the maid? The maid, you understand? She's keeping up that charade. This is going to be awkward. Why didn't you mention this yesterday? That you'd been selected for the jury in this trial, I mean? Well, I was told not to mention it to anyone until the day of the trial, you see? It was in the letter I received. The instructions were very clear, so I'm afraid I had no choice. Oh, I see. Anyway, Mr. Natsume, the defendant, takes lodging in your master's house, doesn't he? Yes, that's right. Although he's only been in a little over a week now. And in that time, surely you must have taken stock of his character. Does Mr. Natsume look like the kind of man who would commit a crime such as this? Oh my goodness me. Yes, he's just the sort. Wait, what? What? Was spending all his time in that dark and dingy room, sporting that unscrupulous moustache. The man never speaks, and I don't get me started on those shifty eyes. All the neighbors are talking about him. I've heard them, you know. People think he must be building a bomb in there or something. Oh dear, poor Mr. Natsume. How could people say such things about him? He's just a harmless bookworm, nothing more. Oh well, he just called him a worm, so... Anyway, I'd better be careful about inviting this maid to speak. She's said enough damning things already. Well, we don't care. Can we just wrap this up now? I've got work to be doing.
Hold it!
A man's life is on the line here, sir. This would take as long as it takes. Hey, wait, not that what I want. Well, don't get clever with me now, son. My life's on the line too, and so is my family's. The likes of you wouldn't understand. I'm a laborer like me, but a laborer like me can afford to take time off. If I don't work, I don't eat, and neither do the wife and kids. Oh, I see. That must be very hard. I go to the union every morning to find out what needs doing. If you're late and the work's taken, it's tough. This time of year, there's water and gas supply pipes bursting left, right and center. They're after cheap labor to get the roads dug out to fix it. It's a hard slog from dawn till dusk it is. So, you were out digging up the road on the day of the incident as well, were you? That's right. In fact, if I remember rightly, it was just around the corner from where it all happened. By that old bookshop it was. What? Another coincidence? Oh, that's right. Mission Street it was. Wait, what? Mission Street? On the map, Mr. Naruhodo-san, there are only 3 named streets. Juror number 5, I need you to add that information to your formal statement, please. What's the point of that? Can't we just get this business over with now? Please, sir, it's important. Ah, fine. Do it then. On the day it happened, I was digging up Meerschaum Street from dusk till dusk. Your box here.
Hold it!
Sorry, for did you say? For the what? No, what I said was hold it. What I wanted to ask was, do you visit your books often? Well, I like the old books they have in there, yes. I enjoy reading them over a nice cup of old tea. Oh, that's my daily routine, you see. Same thing every day, including the day you're all talking about. And at what time did you visit your books in the day in question? Well, I was picking out books in there all afternoon, and it would have been just before 5 that I've left. Oh, it's got a green coat. I just realized. Oh my god. Oh, that's my daily routine, you see. Same thing every day, including the day you're all talking about. Just before 5, you say? Exactly when the victim was attacked. Are you sure about the time? Oh yes, no mistake here. There, I remember it well. I'm not about to forget that day in a hurry. Not after the dreadful time I had. What do you mean? Oh well, I was walking down Calabash Road when I slipped on the ice and dunked my head. It's always worse after the snow starts falling. That's when it's most slippery. Knocked myself clean out, I did. I really thought my number was up. Wait a minute. Let me guess this straight. This happened on Calabash Road? Oh, that's right. I live in Cornpipe, you see. Heading down Calabash Road is the quickest way for me to get back from your books. Juror number 6, I must insist that you add that information to your formal statement. It may very well be extremely significant. Sorry. Extremely sick. No, I'm quite alright now. Oh, it sent a shiver down my spine to hear the members of the jury so convinced of Mr. Natsume's guilt. But I can't help feeling that some of their opinions are rather subjective. I agree, it's the irrelevance of what some of them are saying that sends a shiver down my spine. Still, at least some of their assertions don't actually incriminate Mr. Natsume or anything. That's something. Oh, we must use that to our advantage. Naruhodo-san, cunningly. Yes, you're right. Let's listen to the jurors again carefully. Okay, yes. Don't hold back. Pit them all against each other. Wait, so what? Did the last dude change his thing or not? I slipped over that evening myself on Calabash Road. I knocked myself clean out, you know? Wait, where's Calabash Road? Oh. Okay. The day it happened, I was thinking, okay. Man, met in winter. Okay, pretty sure that's correct. Those two statements are clear at odds with one another. At odds, Counsel? Explain yourself. Oh, please, don't point. It was me, I swear. What? I just want to get this done and dusted. Well, juror number 3? Oh, me, sir? What do you mean? Juror number 5's words just now are extremely significant. Let's take a moment to consider the implications on what's been said on our map of the local area. On the day in question, Mr. Natsume visited this bookshop to purchase a number of second-hand books. And on the same day, we now know that there were works being carried out on Meerschaum Street, making it impassable. Which means that the defendant's route home could not have taken him along Meerschaum Street and down Briar Road. Oh yes, of course. What do you think, sir? Oh, well, yeah, you can't argue with that, really, can you? We must have had a good 2 yards or more of the pavement up. Every gentleman and gentlewoman that came along had to turn back and go the other way. So, the only conclusion is this. The defendant must have taken the longer route back to his lodgings. Oh yes, I suppose he must have. Oh, I suppose that must be right, eh? Juror number 3, you said the following. The man wouldn't have gone around the house on his way back from the bookshop. But we see now that he had no choice. Oh yes! My lord, Mr. Judge. Sir, if I may? Oh, yes? I don't think in all good conscience that I can say the man's guilty now. Oh yes, I'd like to see this story continue so we can get to the bottom of what really happened. Ah yes, thank you. Thank you, my good man. What about you, sir?
Who, me? Well, alright then. If that's a hole in the prosecution's argument, it should be filled in, that's what I say. I don't like holes.
Yes. Oh, well done, Naruto-san. That was wonderful. Well, we've managed to change a couple of minds at least. It strengthened our position somehow. Somewhat. Yes, and it would prompt the other members of the jury to reconsider their stance as well. They'll be asking themselves if their current leanings are really right or not. Now, if we could just identify one more clue or discrepancy that would make them stop doubting Mr. Natsume, we might be able to tip the balance completely. Oh yes, that's exactly what we're going to do. And Ziggs is looking to bring this trial to an early conclusion. That's what we have to prevent, by whatever mean we have at our disposal.
Thank you, Counsel. On the summation examination, please. On with.
Yes, my lord. Okay, I know what I have to do. Okay, so it can't only have been the victim. Okay, you can pit that against this guy.
Objection.
Those two statements clearly show a flaw in the juror's reasoning.
A flow? What are you talking about, Counsel?
Well, juror number 2, juror number 6. Oh my, whatever do you mean, sir? Oh, I think perhaps the old man didn't hear you. Oh, unbelievable. It's not like I was loud or anything. There's at least one fact in which we can be sure here. The bookshop receipt found in the defendant's room clearly indicates that on the day of the attack, he had been to your books and purchased a number of second-hand titles. He then returned one home on foot. Oh, but the man says he had no recollection of his return journey. That's correct. But what he does remember is seeing someone appear in front of him on the way. Someone in a green overcoat who suddenly collapsed on the pavement before his eyes. Oh yes, we are well aware of all this. The poor young woman who was stabbed, have you seen?
Objection.
Can we really be sure of that, madam? Oh my, whatever do you mean? I'm sure you heard juror number 6 account of what happened to him that day. That same afternoon, there was somebody else apart from the victim who was wearing a green overcoat and who fell over on the icy street in the neighborhood. Oh my. Oh my goodness. You mean? That's right. I'm referring, of course, to hard of hearing juror number 6. Oh, are you really suggesting that the person in the green overcoat whom the defendant saw collapse in front of his eyes was the jolly old gentleman at the end of the bench here with me today? That is entirely possible, yes. After all, the old man has a somewhat similar build to the victim.
Oh, well, look at that.
Oh my goodness me! Oh, sorry, you need a pee. And crucially, we know precisely where the old man in the green overcoat fell. Oh, on Calabash Road. Therefore, if the person who Mr. Natsume saw collapsing in front of him was in fact juror number 6, it means the defendant must have taken the long route back to his lodgings. And if that's true, then clearly the crime scene on Briar Road, where the woman was stabbed, was not on his way home. Oh my!
Oh, you just old man. If you hadn't been so daft as to be roaming about there, we'd have bugs this off hours ago.
Oh, and really, what were you thinking? Why is such a befuddling coat? Oh, what did you say to me? It is a crime for the elderly to walk the streets these days. Is it a crime to sleep over on the ice? Is it a crime to keep up with the latest styles and wear a beautiful green overcoat, is it? Oh, my lord, I do hope it won't cause any inconvenience, but...
You'd like to change your leaning, I presume?
I do declare that I would. I should like to call for a verdict of not guilty. Oh, thank you.
And I would too.
What?
Is it a crime to change your mind? Is it? Well, call me a criminal then.
Oh.
Well, that summation examination has concluded with a rather large shift in opinion. The eyes 2, the nose 4. So the nose have it. Not guilty, they say. Which means we no longer have a consensus among the members of the jury. The trial will continue.
Objection!
What? Why is he objecting to? Could it seem churlish of me to drink from my hallowed chalice moments after raising an objection, only to crush it in disgust? Pray forgive the discourtesy. Lord Van Zeeks. It seems I must retract my earlier remark. What do you mean? I mistakenly credited these jurors with intelligence by describing them as insightful. Yet we have just witnessed them falling for a cheap trick performed by an Eastern entertainer.
Eh?
Oh, whatever you mean.
Objection!
I haven't tricked anyone. Everything I've said is the truth. Indeed, stalwart juror member number 5 was undoubtedly repairing the road as he claims. I believe you said it was a good 2 yards of the pavement which you had excavated there.
Oh, that's right. It took me the whole day and they paid me a measly 2p for it.
Now, my learned Nipponese friend, tell me. Do you have any notion of the distance that 2 yards represent? If I'm honest, I don't have a clue, no. Oh, 2 yards is a little less than 2 meters. Less than 2 meters? That's not much at all. In other words, a distance readily vaulted by anyone of moderate vigor. Would you not agree, my stalwart friend?
Oh, me? Oh, well, I can't say you're wrong, no.
What? And did you perchance erect a sign to prevent pedestrians from passing the site of your works?
Oh, I wouldn't dream of it. What a waste of time. No coaches would have had a hope of passing anyway, as we just turn into gentlefolk back when they come. Kids just jump right over us all the time.
The accused is no gentleman as far as I can see. I have little doubt, however, that he could spring over a 2-yard trench in his meandering around town. Oh, is that true? Is it?
The incontrovertible truth is that the books just purchased by the accused were found at the scene. There can be no doubt that on his way back to his lodgings, Mr. Natsume walked down by a road. Crushed in a single sentence. An old man. Oh, calm man. Oh, you can talk. You say that around 5 o'clock on the day in question, you slipped and fell on Calabash Road. Pray, was there a suspicious-looking Nipponese behind you at the time? Oh, I can't say as I remember. Oh, you don't remember? How about a wager, my learned friend? You say it was this old man that the accused saw. But I would lay 1,000 to 1 against you being able to prove it. Yes, but the possibility is there. Order! Order! Lord Van Zeeks, explain yourself. My lord. Oh, if you had such a trenchant argument up your sleeve, why in the world did you not proffer it during the summation examination? I wanted to give the young foreign student the sightseeing experience he no doubt came for. I wanted him to see for himself how the opinion of the jury is so readily swayed. But my hospitality has its limits, and they have been reached, I feel. Oh, he's thrown his cape. So, my learned friend, today's sightseeing tour of London is now over. What are you talking about? My lord. The prosecution requests permission to call its next witness to the stand. Granted. Bailiff, bring forth the witnesses. Oh, okay, we're gonna see who are the witnesses and then we're gonna start because it's getting late. It's next witnesses. Oh, Naruto-san, do you remember? We've been told on several occasions there were eyewitnesses to the incident. Oh yes, I remember. One of them being a Scotland Yard policeman, no less. Oh, I'm afraid that's likely to be the prosecution's next witness. Alright. No matter who Van Ziggs brings to the stand as his witness, and no matter what they say, I believe in Soseki-san. I know he's innocent. And I'll keep believing it to the very end, until this battle is over. I like the zooming effect. Wait, who are those people? Okay, we're gonna save right now. Okay, that's gonna be the end for tonight. God damn it. Wow. It's never easy, is it? Okay. Well. I don't know. I don't know what awaits us, but we'll see. We'll see soon. In the meantime, please take care, stay safe. I hope to see you soon. Bye.